Women, the normal reference, the age group is on the top, what their body fat, ideal body fat range would be for that age, their body's cell mass, which is muscle and fluid in the cell, and the phase angle represents the integrity of the membrane that surrounds all of your cells. And that membrane, that cell membrane, is a bilipid or double fat layer. So the types of fats that you take into your diet help make up that membrane. This is what I explain to everybody that comes in to see me. So they really understand physiologically how their body works and why do they need to make changes. So if that membrane, that phase angle, is not where we want it to be, there's several things that I know we need to look at. Number one, a lot of medications can alter that. So that's something that I may or may not, we may not be able to do at the office, or we may be able to decrease those if people get healthier. The types of fats, are they eating too many hydrogenated oils? Too many trans fats that you'll find in cooked oils. So every time you high temperature cook most of your oils, especially your vegetable oils, you're going to create kind of a toxicity there with that oils. And that goes right to that membrane of your cell. So poor quality oils like fried foods and trans fats and hydrogenated oils affects that membrane, as well as not enough good healthy fats. So a lot of us forget about that part because we're kind of in the thinking of old school from way back Pritikin days of fat makes you fat. But in fact, you need fat to burn fat. And your brain is made of a big part fat also. So you don't want to be saying, I'm on a no-fat diet. And then your membrane around all your cells is going to suffer as well. That was for women the normal. These are the normal numbers for men. So, changes in body composition during weight loss. There's going to be shifting depending on the program people are doing. And I can see all that through the BIA because I like to do it each time. As long as people are coming consistently, I will do a BIA each time to see what's happening with the different compartments in the body. We use a low-fat diet, moderately high-protein diet, a Mediterranean kind of a diet is what I like to work with people. One of the products we might use is Ultra Meal. I'm really not closed off to any one product line. There's a few good ones that are out there that we use. A walking or physical activity program, a weekly group or individual meeting. It may not need to be weekly for an individual. It depends on what's going on with that person. And there are studies that have been done that show the changes in body composition. For women, this particular study, which is published in the Journal of American Nutrition, all women lost weight in this particular study. Fat mass, you can see anywhere from 2 to 22.9 pounds. Average fat loss was 14 pounds, and the BMI declined by 0.55 to 3.86. This was through what's called first-line therapy, the Metagenics fat loss program. 17 of 18 showed decline in body fat anywhere from 2.3 to 10.1%, and 12 out of 18 showed an increase in fat-free mass, mostly muscle mass, which is what you want to look for, not just decreasing weight, you want to increase that muscle mass, so we know that their metabolic rate is working for them. A doctor-supervised program instead of just an over-the-counter type of program is really what's recommended, so you can be monitored and you can be using the highest quality product that's out there. I believe in that for your protein powders, for your fish oils, which I think are extremely important to use a health professional brand for your fish oils. This was a 10-week study using this instant, the Ultra Meal product that we use, versus an over-the-counter product. Total weight loss was 11 pounds versus 13. You'll go, oh wow, that over-the-counter product, they lost more weight. But let's look a little further. The lean body mass was a gain of 4 pounds. The over-the-counter product was a loss of 11 pounds. Their TSH was a measure of their thyroid. There was no change with the Ultra Meal, and an increase in the over-the-counter product by 150%. Not a good thing. Vitamins and minerals are very important because some of us, because of the way we've eaten for years or our stress level, we've depleted a lot of those good vitamins in our body, especially our B vitamins. There's a whole range of them that we could be depleting. So we want to make sure that you're balanced. And the brochure that all of you picked up, that's one way that we look at to see if you're balanced in your vitamins and your minerals. Also, a high percentage of women are developing osteoporosis, and there's so many reasons for that. Dr. Shavarasi has done a lot of research on that as well. Diet does play a role. We want to lose fat, not muscle. I think I kind of hit that one heavy enough. The health benefits of healthy weight loss. These we've all addressed a lot too, so I don't need to repeat those, but you can take a quick look. The glycemic index of foods is extremely important, or the sugar index of foods. Some foods cause a rapid increase in blood sugar. We call those high glycemic foods. It has been postulated that obesity is related to that glycemic index. The lower the glycemic index of that food and the load of the first meal of the day, the less food is consumed in the subsequent meal. What does that tell you? Is breakfast important? And I don't mean breakfast at 1 o'clock when you woke up at 7. When your body's been sleeping all night, the body knows that it's resting and your metabolic rate slows down. That's expected so that you can sleep and rest well. As soon as you wake and you start moving around, the body's saying, okay, feed me. Where's my food? And if that doesn't come in within the first half hour to 60 minutes, your metabolic rate is going to slow down. And what do we often do in the morning before we have food? Anybody drink a cup or two of coffee? Right? Isn't that pretty typical? Well, coffee is an appetite suppressant. So you go, hey, that's a good thing. I don't need to eat then. It's not a good thing. We need to be in touch with our bodies. We need to know when we feel hunger and when we feel satiety. Those are very important. That's just being in touch with your body. So when you wake, you should eat within the first 30 to 60 minutes and get your metabolism going so that it knows food came in, and the load of that meal is very important. So it's not just like people say, oh, I'll never eat a baked potato again because it's high glycemic. A baked potato is by itself high glycemic, and when I grew up, it was the diet food because it was only, 35 calories an ounce or something that was fairly low. But don't put the butter and sour cream on it. How many people were in that day and age where potato was, we'd go through the drive-thru and instead of everything else, we'd get the baked potato? Well, it's almost as high as beer is and white flour and some of those other foods. But do you know how you lower the glycemic index of that food? Does anybody know?
Fat.
Thank you. You add a little bit of fat, maybe not butter and sour cream, but maybe a little olive oil, maybe some avocado, healthy fats, and fiber. So fiber and fat help to lower the glycemic load of that overall meal. So that's an important key. So for those of you who love your baked potatoes, it doesn't become low glycemic, but it lowers it a little bit.